In studio with me is Colleen Deegan of Police Women of Cincinnati, and welcome again. I watch it. It's repeating itself on TLC a lot. I see it a lot. And so, and the thing that impresses me about the whole thing is the positive image. Cincinnati's had some hits recently. And when I watch this, you and the ladies, Rose and Tia, and of course, Mandy, and I love you and Mandy. I think you're my two favorite.
Oh, well, thanks.
And it's a positive thing. It's not negative. It's very positive. And so did you see that as the best thing about this?
Actually, yes. I think it's given the city a really positive view to the rest of the world. So that's one of the perks.
How you treat it now differently?
I don't know. I have a lot more people coming up wanting autographs, which I don't know what my autograph is going to be worth next month, but I'll do it. And pictures, mostly young kids, females that say they want to be a cop now or in the military, because I'm in the military. So I'm more than willing to have a picture with a kid.
You're young. You've been in how many years? You've been in?
This is my 13th year.
13th year. So you got to be in your 30s, and
that's correct.
You're attractive. Why? I mean, I would think 13 years ago, so we're talking about 1998. The riots were in 01. We had a Cincinnati riot. There was nobody shot. There was hardly anything burned down, but they're the riots. And you went through that, and there was a lot of negative imagery that the media put out about the police, which I didn't think was accurate. But why did you choose in 98, 99 to become a cop at all?
I went in the military. I tried a stint in college at NKU. Found out that I didn't want to be behind a desk. So I wanted to learn life in the real world. So I joined the military, became a military police officer, and just fell in love with that job. And when I came out, Cincinnati was hiring, and I was able to get on the first time I tried. So.
And as far as the filming, how were you selected by TLC to be one of the 4 Police Women of Cincinnati?
I think I just got back from Iraq, and I went on vacation to Ireland when they were asking people to try out for it. And I knew nothing about it. And back, I believe, in August, right before we started filming, Danita Kilgore, who's a classmate of mine, called me up and asked me to meet the producer, Julie Jones-Loughlin. And she took me out, and she pitched it to me, and I thought, okay, I'll do this. I mean, it seems like it'll be a positive view of women in policing, so I decided to do it.
Are you happy you've done it?
Yeah, I am. I was skeptical in the beginning, just because I know the way the media sometimes portrays the police officers, and that's what we were trying to make it not go that way. So I think TLC did a really good job.
I think it's great. Did Stryker select you, or was it like a joint effort?
I don't know. I don't know how they picked us 4 girls out of everybody, because there was great women on the police department.
Has anything developed out of this? Have you got offers, or might you become a TV star? Are you going to stay a cop?
No, I will stay a cop no matter what offers I get. But no, we've been requested to speak at colleges, which is a good thing. We just went to Beckfield College in Florence and had great response. Questions that these kids asked was amazing. So.
And your specialty, so to speak, is vice. I've seen you arresting a lot of hookers. I've seen you arresting a lot of nefarious characters with drugs. And talk about the image of prostitution, which is, it's a great lifestyle. You make a lot of money. You look great. And you put a lot of cash in your pocket, as opposed to the reality of prostitution. Reality
is totally different. Most of our prostitutes in Cincinnati got into the job by being addicted to drugs, mostly heroin. A lot of people say it's the world's oldest job, whatever. But you got to think about a lot of the men that come down there are married. A lot of our prostitutes have diseases, and then those men take it home to their wives. So it actually is a victim crime, because you're taking whatever you got from this female back home with you. And plus, if you don't come downtown and try to pick them up, they won't stand on the corner. Maybe they'll try to get some help. So when people say it's a victimless crime,
and the women are gnarly.
True.
I mean, every woman on your show has been somewhat gnarly.
Yeah, but if you've seen, it's really weird, because if you see their mugshot from when they first got arrested to now, they were really beautiful. A lot of them were really beautiful women, and just the toll of the streets and the drugs it morphed them into something you just can't believe.
Well, you were offended when you were offered $15 or something. I watched that and I said, "Wait a minute, that's offensive."
Well, it's actually $7.50 because it was
$7.50.
split by two of us.
Oh.
So,
Were you offended by that?
actually, yeah, but the economy,
The economy's been rough.
yeah.
And then there's this story. When we'll take a short break. When we continue, we got the story of the guy who kept urinating on the street.
That's true.
And he keeps doing it, right?
He does.
Why does he do that?
I don't know. He doesn't have a bathroom. I have no
But
idea.
you got to go to somewhere.
I mean, you'd think he'd go to a tree behind a building.
A tree behind a building.
Yeah.
When we continue, we're going to play about a minute and a half of that and more. My guest, another 15 or 20 minutes, is Colleen Deegan of the Police Women of Cincinnati. If you have a question for Colleen, 749-7000, are you willing to answer questions from the American people?
Yes.
Especially women. Because
Absolutely.
If some girl wants to get in this profession, would you say yay or nay?
I would say yay.
No
Absolutely.
question.
Mm-hmm.
You've been shot at,
Correct.
and you've shot somebody.
That's correct.
You've had an arm broken.
Yes.
You've been punched,
True.
wrestled, maybe bitten,
No, haven't been bitten.
stomped on,
Yeah.
treated like dirt.
Absolutely.
And you're saying, ladies, become a cop.
It makes you stronger.
All right, let's continue. Bill Cunningham, 700 WLW. All right, Billy Cunningham, here we go. There was an episode with Colleen Deegan, the TLC Police Women of Cincinnati, in which she rolled up on a guy that was relieving himself on a sidewalk in bright sunlight in an active area, and this is what happened.
What's that guy doing over there? What are you doing?
Taking in the bathroom.
You can't be using the bathroom out like this.
I had nowhere else to go.
You can't go behind a house over there, behind over there. Man, there's a park right there. You got any ID on you?
I do. I apologize.
We're driving around, and all of a sudden I see this guy going to the bathroom on a chain link fence. He's not even trying to hide it. There's no bushes, no alleyway. He's right out in the open. You got anything on you should have on you? I'm just gonna pat you down for my safety.
Nothing
You're
at
just
all.
stinging right there for me. Turn around for me.
Yes.
This really bothers me. For one, it's disgusting. Two, this neighborhood has been trying to clean itself up. And three, there's kids playing right down the street. You know what today's date is?
11? You should know that.
I want to see if you knew it.
I see.
Another vice officer arrives. We take his information down and run him. I think you got some warrants on you.
Man, case pieces on here, looks like.
Is that like a disorderly or something?
Well, you got disorderly conduct. I'm thinking it's because you were peeing in public, maybe.
You got 1, 2, 3, and then the new one. Not only does this guy have warrants, but 3 of them are for none other than urinating in public.
Thank you. What happened to that guy? You gave him a ticket. Did he pay it out, do you think?
I think he did because we never went to court on him.
Never
so.
arrested him, though.
No, we just wrote him a citation.
Let's go to the American people. We got Gabe and Tony and Bernard and many others. Colleen Deegan is here, and I think the last episode is like a week from now.
March 3rd, that's correct.
And then you think you're done, unless you're renewed. You might be renewed. Who knows?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
You might be renewed. But the imagery of this thing has just been wonderful for the city, and I think that's the positive thing. So let's continue now, and we have Gabe and then Orgoni. If you got a question, 749-7000. Especially if you're a woman, we're probably going to move you up the ladder a little bit because the imagery here of women running around with handcuffs and guns and arresting people is kind of, shall we say, not the image that many women have in society. And the way these officers pull it out is just so professional and so good. So let's continue now. And Gabe, 700 WLW. Gabe, go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Cunningham.
How you doing?
Hey, Officer Deegan. How are y'all doing today? How are y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. Ms. Deegan, I just wanted to say that I have a brother in Alabama who's actually a police officer, and I really respect y'all, and I always have just in general respected police officers. I actually came across the show by accident, and I've just really enjoyed watching it. And, you know, so many people disrespect police officers, and, you know, even though I wouldn't want to do that job, I have respect for people who do that job, and I always try to go and I always try to walk up to an officer and just say thank you for what they do because you guys have a very hard job.
Yeah.
And also, if you ever see a kid walking around in Cincinnati with a Mississippi State sweater and a hat on, and he walks up to you, that's me, and I'm going to be walking up to say thank you. And I had one question: Is it really hard when you have to arrest like a kid who's like 12 years old or something?
What do you do if you have a juvenile in a bad situation? I mean, is that maybe 12 is a little young, but 15, 16-year-olds?
Well, unfortunately, in today's society, there are a lot of 15, 16-year-olds who are committing violent crimes. So when you arrest them, you try to talk to them and figure out how did they end up this way? You know, where are the parents? It is kind of a little bit hard, but they have been committing a lot of the violence in Cincinnati.
Well, we had this incident in Over the Rhine where somebody that's with Yelp.com had his cell phone and it was stolen. And because he was like a Yelper, he had this GPS on his cell phone and they was able to track it down. The guy stole it. And the thieves were like 13, 12, and 11. And these were some of the kids who were involved shooting people in Over the Rhine.
Yeah, it's sad, but that's the way society is today. They're getting younger and younger.
What about Tom Stryker? You know, I've known him for many years, and do you think he could hang with you the way you do your job today?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think he could.
If he wants to ride with me, he can ride with me any day.
But is Stryker, do you think, physically equipped? He's getting older now. He's retiring. I know he's got back, elbow problems. He's got shoulder problems. Doesn't run very quickly. He could not hang with the Police Women of Cincinnati, right?
I don't know. Are you challenging him?
Yes.
Didn't he just make an arrest on a stolen vehicle?
He couldn't get it done because he had to call somebody else. He called it in, and then someone else actually tracked him down from Findlay Market up to Gilbert Avenue, and he couldn't really get it done. He had to get somebody else to help him.
Well, that's because he couldn't pull over a vehicle in a plainclothes car.
You think
you're not
that was
allowed
it?
to do that in Cincinnati.
So you're not going to speak ill of the chief?
Absolutely not.
All right, let's continue now with Mike in Louisville. Mike in Louisville, Kentucky. How about that? Mike in Louisville,
hey,
go ahead.
Fine, Billy. How you doing?
Good, Mike.
Good. I just want to call in. I'm an old Cincinnatian from way back, elder. But I just think the Police Women of Cincinnati gives up a really, really positive view of Cincinnati to the whole country. And I just think it's a very captivating program. All four of those women I just think are really interesting and so professional. I just think it's a real boon for Cincinnati.
And really, would you like to be arrested by Colleen Deegan or Mandy Kerfis? If you had to choose between those two, who would like to be taken down by and handcuffed?
Oh, my gosh. Since Colleen's sitting right there, Colleen.
You like Colleen. Are any men coming up to you, please arrest me?
They've done that before.
They've done that?
Yeah.
Take me down? Frisk me?
Yeah, they've done that.
And do you take that offensively? Isn't that terrible the way some men think? Because guys might be turned on with you in uniform with handcuffs. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Now, I take it all in stride. I have that personality where, if you throw it at me, I'm going to throw it back at you.
Mandy Kerfis had this one where she went to, wasn't it a frat party? It was something going on with young adults, and they thought she was the stripper who was coming in the policeman's outfit to perform. And like they wouldn't pay attention to her at all. Get upstairs, honey. Come on. And I thought, well, that was pretty good. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
Would you take offense at that?
Not at first. I'd be shocked and then be like, "Oh wow, okay, maybe no."
No, maybe a few bucks on the side.
No, I would never do that. But stuff like that happens. You just got to be able to, deal with it in a professional way.
Isn't there great humor in police work? Isn't there times you just laugh?
Oh, I laugh every day on this job. You have to.
Yeah. You got to be serious, but never take it too seriously.
Absolutely.
All right, let's continue with more till the top of the hour. Colleen Deegan. Then at 2:07, one of her good friends is here, Donald Rumsfeld, former Secretary of Defense. And then at 1:45, Ben Swan. Let's continue with more. Bill Cunningham, 700 WLW. Hi, Billy Cunningham. And you said off the air that you're with a different unit now and that Mandy Kerfis is off the street and she's working in Vice.
Yes, that's correct.
And so she'll be... But how do you work in Vice undercover when your face is so well known? But I guess a lot of people don't know. I mean, most people don't know her, but there's a chunk that would do it.
Well, the position that she's at, she'll probably be using CIs, confidential informants.
She's not going to be on the street.
No,
herself.
She's back behind the scenes. She's just learning how to do the Vice stuff right now.
Thomas in Blue Ash, go ahead.
What's up? How you doing?
You have a question for Colleen Deegan.
I do. How do we? So these ride-alongs, can anybody do these?
He wants to go to work with you. He wants to tag along with you, Rose, Tia, and Mandy. Can citizens ride along?
I think Rose is the only one that anybody can ride along with now. Not just anybody. I believe you have to have a background in law enforcement, like you're going through school or something like that, to be able to ride.
You just can't be a civilian that shows up and says, "I want to be with you tonight."
I don't think so.
It doesn't work that way.
I don't think it works that way.
All right, we got to run, but Chuck Ingram just gave me off a TLC website. On March the 3rd, which is like a week from Thursday, is the wrap-up, and TLC is having a 8-hour marathon of the TLC Police Women of Cincinnati. All day Thursday, you can watch the four ladies, and then there's a party at, where'd you say?
Mint Martini downtown is hosting the
what
the
time
party.
is it?
Around 8 o'clock when the last week's show shows, and then they're going to show the 9 o'clock show.
So that'll be 8 o'clock on the March the 3rd, and you can meet all the police women there. All right, are some of the other police women jealous?
No, I don't think so.
You know, how about the guys? Are they jealous?
No.
They're not?
No, they've actually been, we've been treated really well by our other colleagues.
How do the cops who are male treat the cops that are female?
Actually, on this department, I haven't seen any, I mean, they treat us like one of their brothers. I mean, it's amazing that some people think that, you know, we're hassled and stuff like that, but I haven't seen it unless, you know, I mean, I give it right back to them though. So
I wouldn't hassle a woman with a gun.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it again, but it's been a delight meeting you, Colleen.
Well, thank you.
And that you represent so well.
Thanks.
Let's continue. Coming up in about an hour is Donald Rumsfeld. You know Donald Rumsfeld, Secretary of Defense?
Yes, I do.
Well,
Not personally.
You don't know him personally?
No.
He's a good guy. Made some mistakes, but don't you make some mistakes?
Absolutely.
I
we
make
all
them
do.
too, yeah. Let's continue with more on 700 WLW.